So you're audible. Hello, dear students. You're audible. Harish, Arun, Anjali, you are audible. Chidru, Premavati, Chaitanya, Chinmai, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Chinmai.
Yes, ma'am.
So now the module 5 next topic is so we are going to discuss about the applets and swings of Java. Okay. So as I already told in this syllabus of your module 5 Java, you are going to study the two types of applets. One is applet basics. Okay. That is about the applet architecture, applet skeleton, simplet applet display methods, requesting repainting using the status windows, HTML applet tag, okay, passing parameters to applets. Okay, get document base and get code base. The second one is audio clip interface about the applets. Okay, applet context and show document. These are the methods which you are going to learn for the app to applets basics, right? The audio clip interface, the applet stub interface, output of the input output devices. So we are already studied about the the so what I can say is about Java applets. I already defined that. So applets are small Java programs or applications that are accessed in an internet server. They're transported over the internet. Automatically they are installed and run as a part of the web document. These are the tiny programs. Applets are the tiny programs, right? Which are accessed by the internet server and they're accessible in the internet, okay, and automatically they are installed and run as a part of the web document. So applet is program which is written in Java programming language that can be included in an HTML page much in the same way an image is included in the page. When you use a Java technology enabled browsers to view the page that contains an applet, the applet's code is transferred to your system and executed by browser Java virtual machine. Okay, I already explained the execution part of the Java program, right? So there will be a two, that is the one is a interpreter and the other one is a bytecode, right? Now the you know that Java virtual machine is suppose if you have some logical error also, so your bytecode is going to be you will get a bytecode. But what happens when you are going to start executing the program when logical error is there? You will not get the output properly. So why that is a problem is because Java virtual machine will not allow such errors, right? Okay. Now the we'll come to the two types of what are the two types of applets. Okay. There are two varieties of applets. They are based on the applet class that is called as a applet. The other one is called as a based on the swing class applet. We call it as a J applet. So the applet which is with a swing class, we call it as a J applet. Okay. So based on the applet class, these applets uses abstract window toolkit. What we have studied the Java language, that is utilities AWT, to provide the graphical user interface. This type of applet has been widely available since Java was first created. Okay, then if you are going to study based on the swings, this applet uses a swing class to provide a GUI, graphical user interface, and swing offers a rich and easier to use interface than the AWT. Okay, that is the whatever the package we are using, AWT package, that is a Java package. We call it as a abstract window toolkit, which is going to, there are some files which are present in AWT, which helps the user graphical user interface to work very easily. Okay. So these graphical, this based on the swing class, we have the offers a rich and easier to use interface than AWT. Swing based applets are the most popular in practice. Swing based applets are the most popular in practice. So because nowadays we know that we are very much familiar with the user friendly softwares. So whenever we want to work on user-friendly softwares, we must have a GUIs. Okay, that is the picture buttons. So don't think that what is this graphical user interface. They are nothing but the picture buttons which are going to perform some specific operations. Okay. So those we call it as a graphical user picture buttons. When any software which contains a picture buttons which is going to represent some operations or some process, right? We call that as the we call that as a so now swings based applets are the most popular in practice. Okay, we use the swing applet base because that supports the swing classes to provide the GUI itself. Okay, so the swing offers is easier to use their interface than AWT when compared to AWT package, right? And this swings class is much better to use with the graphical user interface. Okay, so next come for the applet basics. So what is the what do you mean by applet? We'll learn the basic knowledge of the applets. The reason people are excited about Java is more than just another object-oriented language, any other object-oriented like Eiffel, okay, C++. Java is most popular when compared to the other object-oriented language because of the reason that this is having the applets, okay, because it allows them to write interactive applets on the web where we can directly communicate with the internet, right? We are going to write a tiny program that is called as a applet, right? So which is going to be very interactive with the web. So Hello World is not a very interactive program, but let's look at a webbed version. See here. So import java.applet.applet. Okay, applet is a one class, main class, and we are going to import the package AWT, which is a graphical user interface package, and public class hello hold applet extends applet. Okay, see, class hello world is the name of the class we are given, and we are going to print the in this, say, in this format. Okay, applet hello world, only one. So G dot drawstring hello world in the width and the vertical, horizontal and vertical width, that is a x-axis and y-axis width of the window of your computer, right? Paint is a method, right, which is going to use as a graphics. Okay, and we are going to give a hello world 50 comma 25. So this is what the this one. So import java.applet.applet. Okay, then class hello world applet extends applet. Okay, and we are using a method called as a paint, where in this x-axis 50 and y-axis 25, we are going to print the sentence hello world with a drawstring. See, we are not giving the, see, in previous languages what we used to use, we used to input output state in output statement like println print or cout in C++ and printf in C language. Okay, but here in Java, so we are written a tiny applet program which is going to display the message hello world with the coordinators, x and y coordinators, right? And you have the applet program, right? So the output will be seen in this format. Applet viewer, applet hello world. Okay, the applet version of the hello world is a little more complicated than the hello world applications, and it will take a little more effort to run it as well. First type in the source code and save it into the file called hello world applet.java, because the name of the class is same as the Java program name. So what is the class name you are given here? Hello world you are given, right? Same hello world is used here also. Hello world applet.java. See, what is the class name you are given here? Hello world applet. This is a full thing. We call it as a class name till here, right? So same for program name is also in Java, as you know that class name is same as the Java file name. That is why we are going to give a first type in the source code and save it in the file code as a hello world applet.java. Compile this file in the usual way. If all is well, a file called hello world applet.class will be created. Okay. So this class, I told no, whenever you are going to input this source code, which is written in Java programming language, and when you are going to, that is a high level language, that is a source code. So that is going to be converted into the byte code, right? That is a with a class extension. Hello world applet dot class will be created. That is in the form of a byte code. Now you need to create an HTML file that include your applet. Okay. So we have to create a one HTML file. You people are already familiar in web technology that how you are going to use a HTML tags to create a hello world that is a HTML file. Okay. Now it will include your applet. See the simple HTML file, what it will do. HTML tag, head, title. Title we are given is a hello world, right? Body. So the body, this is a applet program where we are going to print hello world. Applet is the name of the Java programming file, and width is 150, that is on the x-axis, and height will be 50, that is on the y-axis. Okay, this is the applet. Okay, we have to say applet view. Okay, and then end of the HTML tag, the body of the HTML ends. Okay, now see here. So when you are going to execute this also, this is the applet hello world, like this it will come. Okay, so save this file as a hello world.applet.html in the same directory as a hello world applet.class file. When you have done that, load the HTML file into a Java enabled browser and see the output in the browser window. Okay, if the applet compiled without error and produced a hello world applet.class file, and yet you don't see the string hello world in your browser, chances are there that that class file is in the wrong place. So see that both the class file as well as the HTML file should be present in the same browser. Okay, so make sure that the dot class is in the same directory as the hello world.html. As I told, both the bytecode which is produced by the Java program and the HTML file must be present in the same directory, and the same, they should have the same path, I can say. Wherever the directory may be, you may be storing in C or D or E or wherever you are storing, right? And both must be in the same directory or the same path, same subdirectories also, right? Also make sure that the plugins. Okay, then only that your Java applet class is going to be executed. Not all the browsers support Java out of the box. Okay, some of the browser will not support this. Okay, Java. Then come to the applet class. Okay, next is an applet class. An applet is a small program that is intended not to be run on its own, but rather to be embedded inside the another application. We want this small program not to execute by its own, but it should be stored in some other application, right? So the applet class must be the superclass, as we already know that the applet class is a superclass, and it extends all the other subclasses using the applet class. That is to be embedded in a web page or viewed by the Java applet viewer. The applet class provides a standard interface between the applets and their environment. The applet class provides a standard interface between applets and their environment. Okay. Now come to the different methods that we have as a applet classes. That is for the, so first one, via destroy. So destroy, the name itself says that, so that should be destroy. It destroys any resources that has been allocated. The duty of this destroy method is to, whenever it is called by the browser or applet viewer, to inform this applet that is being reclaimed and that it should destroy any resources that it has allocated. Whatever that has been allocated, that should be destroyed. Okay. Now accessible context. Next method is get accessible context. Gets the accessible context associated with this applet. Okay, get accessible context. So next is a get applet context. See there, get accessible context is different method and get applet context is different method. So that is gets the accessible context associated with this applet. Okay, and this get applet context, it is going to determine this applet context which allows the applet to query and affect the environment in which it runs. Okay, it is going to determine the and allows the applet to query and affect the environment in which the particular application it is executes. So next is a get applet information, that is a string. It returns the information about this applet. So returns information about this applet. Audio clip, get audio clip. So returns audio clip object specified by the URL argument. Next is one more, get audio clip, returns audio clips object specified by the URL and name of the arguments. So here there first one is get audio clip, it returns only the specified by the URL argument, and this one is it returns audio clip object specified the URL and the name of the arguments. Next is a get code base. It is going to get the base URL, and get document base. It returns an absolute URL naming the directory of the document in which the applet is embedded. Image, get image, returns an image object that can then be painted on the screen, and the get image, it returns image object that can painted on the screen, and local get it's gets the local for the applet if it has been set. So you just go through all these methods. Okay, so just understand what those methods will do. Okay, so I'll give you five minutes time for you to go through all the methods, and I'll ask the questions on that methods. Have we gone through the methods, all of you? Have you gone through the methods? Whatever is there, have understood? So get code based, it gets the base URL of that. Then get document base returns an absolute URL naming the directory of the document in which the applet is embedded. Okay. So next is a get document base. It returns an absolute URL naming the directory of the document in which the applet is embedded. So now the get document base get image returns an image object that can then be painted on the screen. So you have the get image URL, it returns an image object that can then be painted on the screen. Okay. Then get locally. These are all the methods which you have to remember for what purpose these methods are used and where we are going to use these methods, right? What is the purpose of these methods, right? So get locally is a method for the applet if it has been set, okay, for local. Hmm? And whenever you want to return a string, we use a get parameter that returns a value of the named parameter in the HTML tag. Okay, string double we are using get parameter information. It returns information about the parameters than or understood by this applet. So this is a see here two-dimensional string. You can see there two square pair of square brackets are there. There returns the information about the parameters than or understood by this applet. Okay. Then void init. This is as we are already in threads. Okay, we are going to use in the interfacing of the threads, right? We use a init method, which is going to be called by the browser or applet viewer to inform this applet that it has been loaded into the system. Okay, so it has been loaded into the system.
Ma'am, you are not audible, ma'am.
Now you have two play methods. One is a place audio clip at the specified absolute URL. The other one is wired play URL. See there, and we are going to specify the we are going to specify a particular name of that audio, which is going to be played, right? And this plays the audio clips given the URL and a specifier that is relative to it. So whatever the URL we are specifying, we are going to name that specification. Okay, then it is going to display the value. Okay, then resize. When we want to decrease or increase the dimension of that particular applet, right? So wired resize dimension D, it requests that this applet be resized. Okay, so whatever the size may be, right? So dimension, we are mentioning the dimension to display it. Then wired resize int width comma int height. Okay, it requests that this applet be resized. Here what we are doing is we are first resize, we are going to give only the dimension. So second what we are giving, we are giving the width and the height. Particular place of the display we are specifying x-axis coordinate and the y-axis coordinate, right? It requests that applet is being resized. Okay, then set stub. It sets this applet stub. And why would you people know that it requests that argument string be displayed in the state, that is a show status. That is whatever the message we are going to give string message. So the message will be in group of words, right? So we call it as a string. So that status window is going to be displayed. So when we are going to send the message. Okay. Then wired start. So called by the browser or applet viewer to inform this applet that it should start its execution. Okay, the start, you know that. So in user interface, we used to start, okay, and end process in the threads. Okay, so start method is called by the browser or applet viewer to inform this applet that it should start its execution. Then wired stop. The stop is a process called by the browser or applet viewer to inform this applet that it should stop its execution. Okay. Stop is a process method which is going to be called by the browser or applet viewer to inform this applet that it should stop its execution. Okay. This is all about the methods which we are going to use for basic class base class applets, right? And we have to remember which are the functions, what is their what are the methods we are using, and what they are supposed to do in the basics of applets, right? Because when we are going to write a tiny program, these are all very important, because sometimes we are going to play the audio, sometimes you are going to display the images, sometimes you are want to display some messages by yourself, right? So all these things is going to be counted. Okay, so that is why we have to be what happens if you are going to resize with only dimension, what happens if you are going to resize with the width and the height, right? So that is the reason why you need to. Okay, you have to remember all these methods to know the proper information of the when you are start writing the applet programs, right? These methods are all useful. Okay, so what happens if you are going to use a audio, image, play, right? Methods: destroy, get context, get audio clippings, get image, we want to check whether it is applet is active or inactive. All this is going to be tested. Okay, so now I'll stop the class. Okay, I have a meeting, and tomorrow I will explain the next topics. Thank you, one and all. 1 second, I'll take the attendance. Okay, wait. Why only 44 students? Your papers are got evaluated. So today I'll give the marks. Hemant is there here in the class? Hemant? Hello, Hemant?
Yes, ma'am.
Hemant, you have uploaded the MES instead of OOC.
Which chairman, ma'am?
Hemant H or Hemant HS? I don't. You just check out Hemant, one Hemant. I don't remember you or another Hemant, but one of you uploaded the microcontroller MES for OOC. So you are the only left out paper which I not evaluated because Hemant, one Hemant, I don't know you or that Hemant. You just check out. Okay. If you have uploaded, you just change it or you tell to another Hemant. Will you inform Hemant
Yes,
to
ma'am.
that fella? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You just check out. If you uploaded correctly, OOC only, you don't worry. I have evaluated your marks. And if you are not done, if you are done, fine. Okay. If not you, then you inform to other month to upload the oversee answer sheet. Okay.
Yes,
Otherwise,
ma'am.
I will evaluate it as a 0. Inform him. Okay, Hemant?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, pa. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice day. I'll leave the class. Okay. So I will still explain tomorrow the basics of applets very well. Okay. Today I have meeting. Okay. I will wind up the class.